So remember that sack of games I borrowed from a friend? You know, the one who leaves discs in the incorrect box? Yeah, that degenerate. That incident meant I couldn't play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which made me sad because I could really use some dragon action. Fortunately, another game part of the stack was Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, and believe it or not, this one actually had the disc in it. Good job, friend. I hope you're watching this. Spyro the Reignited Trilogy is a remastering of the original trilogy games for the PlayStation 1, a fun platforming series that stars a young dragon named Spyro, who lives in a magical world of dragons. The first game starts with an ogre named Nasty Nork not liking what a dragon said about him on the news, so he turns all the dragons to stone except for Spyro, and it's up to him to save the day. Spyro starts in the world collecting gems and freeing any dragons that he comes across, and then travels through these portals to access levels where there are even more dragons to free, gems to collect, and annoying egg thieves to catch. And after freeing enough dragons in the world, we can talk to the balloonist who will take us to the next. Now Spyro has the ability to glide, flame breath, and charge through enemies, but there are also levels where he has to fly and hit obstacles without touching the water. At first I dreaded playing these levels, but eventually they became my absolute favorite part of the series. But now I'm noticing a lack of consistency. In ground levels, water is apparently fatal, but during these fight sections, he just gets upset about it. Moving on to Ripto's rage, after the events of the first game, Spyro decides to take a vacation but accidentally ends up in Avalar when his scientists and his friends accidentally mess around with a portal. Not their first botch, as they had previously transported an imp named Ripto to Avalar who is now trying to take it over, and Spyro agrees to help out his new friends. Spyro 2 continues the collectathon gameplay and expands on Spyro's abilities. For one thing, rather than dying in water, Spyro can now swim and even dive after purchasing the ability from moneybags, using the gems we collect. From moneybags we can also purchase the ability of climbing and head bashing. Spyro also now has the ability to pick things up with his mouth and spit them out. And you know, I never really took Spyro to be a quitter. Sorry, that joke was inappropriate. After killing enough enemies in each level, Spyro will have access to power-ups that include lava resistance, flight, and the feeling of chewing 5 gum. Now in Spyro 2 we collect these orbs from NPCs, and to obtain these we have to complete minigames and side quests. Now while these can and do introduce more fun gameplay mechanics, it however makes the game feel sillier than its predecessor. In the last game I'm trying to save my species. In this game I'm brought to this world unwillingly to fix a mistake they made, and now I need to play hockey, dogfight, and do an entire training sequence for the professor over a f***ing pencil. It's like if your child goes missing and when the cop shows up, before providing any information you first ask them to beat you at Call of Duty on the DS. I don't mind these too much, but they got me feeling a certain way, like that Toad from Mario Odyssey. The point of the levels are to reach the end to acquire a talisman, and when you collect all the talismans in the world, you get to fight the boss, which is something that Spyro 2 did incredibly well. These guys are actually challenging, where in the last game I didn't know I was fighting the boss until it was over. When I started playing Spyro Year of the Dragon, my friend informed me of fun cheats that can be activated using button combinations, and sadly that was my favorite part about playing Spyro 3. The game's plot has all the dragon eggs being stolen by a sorceress, and at this point I'm really wondering how the dragon survived as a species. Spyro goes after the eggs and is joined by Hunter, and it's more collecting gems and finding these eggs across these worlds. I was ready to have another fun 10 hours collecting collectibles across colorful environments, but that excitement got shattered 15 minutes in when Hunter had me do skate tricks to earn an egg, and I don't know why he's withholding and forcing me to do this dumb shit for a child. Isn't he supposed to be my friend? The NPCs in this game are the absolute worst. They are either brain dead and ragingly stupid, or what's even worse is that they will make you play dumb minigames or run errands in exchange for the dragon eggs. Doesn't that feel wrong, having to do chores for characters that will hold children hostage if I don't do them? If a lizard pulled up to my house and told me I was keeping his child in my fridge, I'm gonna f***ing give it to him, not make him first play me in carnival games. The game introduces new characters to play as after you free them from moneybags, who becomes even slimier in this installment. We got Sheila the Kangaroo, Sergeant Bird, Bentley the Yeti, and Agent 9 who change up the gameplay, and I'm not a fan of these. I prefer the fast-paced Spyro style, while these guys slow things down so much I feel like I'm getting whiplash. There are also levels where we play as Hunter where he does these dogfights, and I hate them, I hate playing them, I f***ing hate Hunter. Spyro 3 has more cutscenes that tells a much more coherent story, and it's probably my favorite story out of any video game ever because Hunter gets kidnapped partly through it, and god I f***ing hate Hunter. Spyro 3 is my least favorite of the bunch due to its tone, and if you think it's dumb to look at a kid's game and say, too silly, well, all I have to say to that is there is a difference between old SpongeBob and new SpongeBob. I don't know, that made more sense in my head. All in all, it is a great trilogy to play through. It's fun platforming across colorful levels with varied environments. But now I'd like to talk about something else, the trophies. Now Spyro is a game of collecting various collectibles throughout various levels, but the neat thing about Spyro is that in every single level there's also one trophy to collect. The trophies fall along the lines of killing enemies a certain way, lighting fireworks, or just murdering sheep. Now fully completing Spyro isn't necessarily hard. If you have a hard time finding gems, pressing R3 will have sparks, the little dragonfly accompanying Spyro, point you in the direction of a gem. I'd say the biggest challenge in these games is accessing these hard to reach areas that need to have tight and really precise jumps performed. Now my friend, let's call him Ivan. Ivan has 100% of this game, but he did not platinum any of them. Now 100%ing Spyro 1 and 2, i.e. collecting all the collectibles and gems, is required to get the platinum trophy, but fortunately it's not required for Spyro 3, so when it became apparent that I didn't need to, I didn't! I platinumed this trophy with only 87% of the game completed, and that's probably my favorite part about Year of the Dragon, the fact that it didn't make me do all the dumb shit this game has to offer. But anyway, yes, while Ivan has probably genuinely 100% in all 3 of these games, it'll be known for the rest of history that I got the platinum trophies first. So...
Haha, fuck you, Ivan.